I'm Tiger Woods, and this is my game. This is a golf lesson none of you had before. Entire life, I've been a pretty good iron player. I've always shaped the golf ball both ways and kind of maneuvered it around. I think that stems from the era that I played in too, though. I grew up in an era where the ball spun a lot, and the object of the game was, when you played a lot of balls, how could you take spin off? You know, that was the hardest thing. How can I get this ball to keep it from peaking above the tree line? Maybe I've taken it for granted, but I've always felt comfortable shaping the golf ball both ways and changing trajectory. But I've always felt really comfortable taking a spin off the golf ball. Because of the era that I played in, that we all did it. It was very simple to, at the time, 150 yards, take out a little 6-iron and chip it. That was the thing to do. And normally we hit an 8-iron 150, but into the wind, it was just a soft 6. Well, most people don't really think that way anymore. Technology's changed. It's harder to work the golf ball, and I still go back to a lot of those different thoughts. And so when the wind blows, or I get on conditions where I got to start shaping the golf ball, I feel comfortable. But also, I've stayed with a spinnier ball as well, though. I could hit the ball further with a harder golf ball, but it would take away my flexibility that I have with my iron game of shaping the golf ball different ways, because in order to shape the golf ball, you got to have spin. It's more advantageous to be able to go, both ways on the curvature of the golf ball, especially when the wind blows, and then that gives you more options. You don't feel so pigeonholed on a certain shot that I can't go after this flag because I don't have a shot that gets me over there. I do.
Can get there this?
Yeah.
No problem.
For sure. The front's got to be what? 25, 30?
Yeah.
Yeah, that should fly to the front, no problem.
A little downwind too?
Yep, just a hair of help.
That shot might go into.
Yeah, no kidding. Too bad I can't get that on camera.
Oh, no.
Oh. That's the Tuesday bounce.
We're not always going to make the most perfect backswing, downswing. You may hear wind, in the trees coming up a little bit, and make the adjustment with their hands to try and take some spin off of it. You may feel a gust off your right shoulder. I got to add a little bit of speed because this ball is going to come in too flat. Different speeds will produce different shots. So like if I want to hit a cut shot, well, I'm going to have a little bit more body speed because obviously the cut's not going to go as far. And so you got to have a little bit more speed to obviously swing left, clear left, get everything rotated. The draw is probably a little bit slower. But then again, it's the low draw or high cut, They're different speeds for different shots. And then you add in the variance of lies, uphill, downhill, side hill. And then the other variance that we always have to deal with is a little bit of puff of wind. And where's it coming from? And so that changes my speed and quite a bit.
Well, it's 206 right now, and it's about 180-ish to the front. Wind's coming off the left, but it's bouncing back and forth. So it's kind of going from down to in, to down to in, to across. So what I'm seeing right now, as of right now, it's a 6-iron. We just got a puff, kind of more downish. So now I've realized that if I hit a full 6-iron, it's out of here. 10 seconds ago, it was more like I need to lean on a 6-iron to get it there. So trying to get a feel for that and trying to understand that I may have to use one of those two shots, but I like right now with that water on the left, I don't want to start it out over that water. I like hitting the draw because if option, it's going to start further right. And then on top of that, it's probably going to stay out there if I try and draw it, which is fine. Easy putt, easy chip back. Now it just went down. So now I got to take a little bit off of it. So now I got to make that decision once I get up to the golf ball. I've got a feel for both shots. I'm committed to right now it's down, so I'm going to take something slightly off of this. It's still down, so I'm going to go with it. Just a little right of the hole.
He's got a great ability to take spin off, put spin on, and then also launch conditions. He can change his launch angle, you know, by probably 50% if he wants. And most guys kind of set themselves up where they can hit one shot, one perfect shot the same way every time, and that's what they're trying to kind of go for. Tiger's trying to have as many shots as possible, and his ability to control the spin and control the launch, you know, I think make him, you know, in my opinion, the greatest iron player ever.
I've always played a lot with my hands, so I control a lot of my speed and what I do with my hand speed. I've never been one that really focuses on what my body's doing. Controlling trajectory and controlling shots, a lot of that has been my hands. Granted, my swing has morphed. I've done different things with different instructors, but at the end of the day, it's about, to me, making the little adjustments right before impact to try and figure out, you know, where that club is at and sensing where it's at. Because at the end of the day, that's the only connection we have with a golf club is our hands. And so if you're not feeling it with your hands, then what connection do you have with the golf club?
Now, what length I choke up on the club or use full length depends on what shot I'm gonna hit, the feel of it all, what trajectory what window I'm gonna put it through. And so that is all something I'm trying to take into account, but these are all like adjustments. Like right now, it just went back in. So the ball's gonna go back in my stance for me to get a 6-iron there. Also on my last look, as I looked up, I saw the water ripples. I may see like tree movement, if there are trees out there in the distance, and see where all of a sudden it lays down or the flag lays down. Well, that means up at the green, it's doing something different they may be feeling here. And one of the reasons why I've been, I think, a pretty good iron player over the years is that I take all that into account and make the fluid adjustment.
Number one is get fitted, first of all. If the club's too upright, generally you're gonna hit it left, too flat, you're gonna hit it right. Now, once you're fit properly, you know, then it's up to you to do the work and try and hit the ball solid, try and hit shots more consistently, but I probably took it for granted. I mean, that's all I knew is that my clubs always fit me, instead of me fitting the golf club. Well, I think the short game is, to me, it's all creativity. I'll spend hours just hitting different shots and seeing what works and what doesn't. Hitting it high, hitting it low. You know, I gotta be able to hit that shot and see that shot and understand how to play it.
And you see this thing rip. If you see me explain shots, I explain with my hands. I see shots and I envision things because this is what I have contact with the club with.
The reality is I'm gonna have to be able to hit all those shots and I just don't know when. I enjoy that because that's reality. You know, those are the shots I'm gonna have to hit in a tournament.
That's fun.